Hey, podcast lover, get ready to picture me without any clothes on. That's right. This episode of JJ Meets World is going to give you the full meal deal, as my dad would say. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. This is an episode of JJ Meets World that makes us both uncomfortable. And by the way, if you'd like to help support our podcast, visit jjmeetsworld.com where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some killer swag at our merch shop, or click the link to Apple Podcast and give us a 5-star review.
1, 2, 3, 4. JJ Gordon, sort of like that Indiana Jones, in that he's always sniffing out his next adventure. Yes, he is. He's always interviewing guests so he can have them on his show and they can talk about pop culture, arts, and leisure. JJ has his flag unfurled and he likes his french fries curled, and he's fun and then he twirls as he goes to meet the world. He will march into the rain even if his ankle sprain. Take a peek inside his brain. This podcast is called JJ Meets World.
Tucker, I waited a full year, even with a referral, to get into a dermatologist recently.
Hey.
And the reason is I went to my primary and I'm like, hey, I got this thing like on my shoulder and I'm worried about it. And it was like a patch of skin that was kind of rough to touch and like, you know, but like it didn't itch. It looked like a raised mole a little bit, and it just was there, and I was concerned about it, right? Because you could scratch it enough to kind of like pick at it a little bit.
Yeah. So
I'm like, ugh, I don't care for this. So my primary says, sure, I'll write you a referral so that you can get into the dermatologist. The dermatologist contacts me the very next day, and they're like, okay. And this is February of 2025, and they're like, hey, how about March 3rd, 2026? And I go, you mean March 3rd, 2025? And they're like, no. That's how far we're booking out. And I'm like, that is insane to me.
Whoa.
Like if this was skin cancer, I'm going to wait another year for the skin cancer. But so I agree. And then they get a hold of me after the new year and they're like, unfortunately, due to a scheduling error, we're going to have to push your appointment further down the line. So I finally was able to get in there in April.
Wow.
Yeah. And so this is what I knew going in this situation. I was going to be doing a full body check. Have you ever done a full body check at a dermatologist?
Yep.
Okay. So I go in there multiple times. So I go in there and the nurse immediately is like, JJ Gordon. Where do I know you from? And I'm like, oh, I don't like this game. And so I name a couple of things. She goes, nope, that's not it. And she goes, where did you go to middle school? And I was like, God damn it. That's not what I want to hear. And so she tells me what her maiden name is. And I'm like, that means nothing to me whatsoever. I don't recognize you. But good to know that we were, part of the same class or whatever. So the doctor comes in and he's a nice guy. And I had made a comment too, like she said, do you want the doctor to just check out this thing on your shoulder, or do you want to do a full body exam? I said, well, I waited a full year, so I might as well do a full body exam, right?
Yeah.
And so he comes in and he's immediately apologetic about like, hey, listen, I'm really sorry that you had to wait so long. And I said, oh, no, I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to be likable in some way and make conversation. He goes, well, now that you're a patient, now that we've seen you once, we can get you in immediately. We reserve things like every morning for people like to come in. And I was like, what? That is the dumbest idea I have ever heard. It's like, listen, once you've had a sugary waffle cone once at our ice cream store, then you can have it on a regular basis. But we're going to make you wait for the first sugary ice cream cone. So anyway, so she pulls the little, like, first of all, the pattern on the like fake faux fabric that they have on the little curtain is so gross to me. And I'm like, I know they're never washing this curtain. So if she was just eating Cheetos or something, that those hands are going to be on it all the time. And then she goes to this little cart and she has to like beep, 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 put in a pin code, and then it shoots out a gown for me. And she goes, would you please strip down everything, and then put the gown on, open side in the back. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I don't know why they had me put the gown on because I was buck naked for almost that entire visit. And then they put me in stirrups. And they're using like a little, it looks like a pen, but it's not a pen. It's just a device.
It is almost like they really should just be like, hey, so when he comes in, just wear this hat.
Right, exactly.
They should have just done that. It's the exact same fucking thing.
Right, so he's checking everything, right? Like he's checking my hair, he's going around, and he's got this little device that looks like a Ouija board, like when you the little paddle that you push around, and it's got a light on one end, but it must have a magnifier, so he's like being able to like look at, like magnifying like little bumps on my skin and stuff like that. And this situation goes on forever, right? They're looking at everything and they're asking me questions, and like at one point he's parted my cheeks and hello, and he's asking me something, and I said, in all honesty, doctor, anything down there is unbeknownst to me, and I have not asked my wife to take a gander at anything down there either.
You didn't pull a Matt McGregor.
No, not at all, right? So like this whole thing goes down, and I finally am done with my very invasive procedure, but like to them it's no big deal, right? They're looking at everyone's skin all day long. And he sits me down, he goes, okay, well, first and foremost, your skin looks really good. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Looks like you're not sun damaging your skin. And I said, do you find a lot of people who sun damage their skin in early April? Like the sun hasn't come out. He goes, oh, you can tell like the people who've like gotten the sunburns and stuff like that. He goes, now this thing on your shoulder, and he drops down, and I'm like, oh my God, here it is. He's gonna tell me it's skin cancer. He's gonna tell me it's a M. Night Shyamalan, one of those. And he goes, how old are you? And I'm like 42. And he goes, it's an age spot. And I go, a what? And he goes, it's an age spot. And people get them when they get older. And my guess is you'll get plenty more. And you probably have family members. It's very common in genetics. And I start thinking about the last time I saw like my grandfather without a shirt on. And like, yeah, he probably had a couple of things like this. And he goes, a lot of women get them and they call them liver spots. I'm like, oh yeah, definitely. My mom had liver spots. And he's like, it's just getting older. That's all it is. It's an age spot. And I am like, well, can I do anything about it? And he goes, you can, but you're going to get more. And I said, okay, so I don't have to worry about it. And he goes, it's nothing to worry about. It's not cancerous. It's essentially just your body. He goes, like, next time someone asks for your ID at the bar, just show them the little patch on your shoulder. Like, oh yeah, come on right in, sir. Thank you very much. So then they leave. And here's the other thing, too. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm in a doctor's office and they ask me to disrobe in any way, shape, or form, I fold my clothes into the neatest pile I possibly can. Like, if I have to take my socks off, I tuck my socks in between whatever it is because I don't want them to see that. Yeah, exactly. And I want them to think, oh, this guy's got his shit together. And look at how well he, treats his clothing when he's in the office. But boy, oh boy, I was an unhappy camper, my friend.
Well, I'm glad to hear it's not cancer or
Me too.
Psoriasis or anything else like that, man. But I've been to the dermatologist, for years because of psoriasis, and so yep, the whole hey, drop everything and let's see your skin. Show me your skin, right? But the last dermatologist I went to was beginning of this year, so I just go to Essentia. And this was my old dermatologist had retired, so went to the new and young guy, and he was really, really cool. And I just was basically able to tell him, like, hey, man, listen, psoriasis has ruined my life. And he's like, well, let's fix that. And fixed it, like really did, get me back to a point where it's no longer like really a burden. It's still there, but it's not like this debilitating thing where I'm just like feeling like a disgusting monster or whatever. But skin conditions, I mean, even like my dad, he has had multiple skin things removed because he has absolutely just completely obliterated his skin with the sun. by going outside in Speedos and stuff. And
Well, I'm sure all the time he spends on the motorcycle and then his time at the ballpark.
Yeah. So recently, you can't see it, listener, but recently I sent JJ a photo of my dad. He and I were at Mick's office doing pull tabs. and Dad has decided to start wearing this, what looks like a detective's gun holster.
Yeah.
Right? That looks like something that you would see a detective wearing in a police procedural.
Yeah. It's not a belt. It's like an over the shoulder, strap along the back type thing.
Like suspenders, but they cross over to carry things for you.
Yeah. Like you expect, it was a hard day. Hell, it had been a hard year.
Yeah, the thing that you take off and hang up with your badge before you sit down and pour yourself some scotch. He uses it to carry on one side his iPhone, and on the other side a giant wallet that he does not need, the size that big. And he was getting so many looks from people at Mick's office because they were like, "Is that guy packing?" Like they were like, "What's this guy doing?" I don't remember why I brought that up, but I needed to.
Well, we were talking about your dad's skin, and that lends itself to that.
Okay, there you go. Well, it is about making good choices. Right? That's what we're talking about here.
And here's the thing: we've all worn something because we thought it was cool at the time, only to later be like, "Oh, God." I think of my senior year of high school. I wore only khaki pants and Hawaiian shirts. In my junior year, I wore a lot of scarves, but it's because I constantly had hickeys.
Yeah, I went through a year of nothing but Bruce Lee t-shirts.
Oh, yeah, see?
Yeah, nothing but Bruce Lee t-shirts. Did a year of flannel as well. But the Bruce Lee t-shirts, that might have been longer than a year as well. That probably was a bit longer than a year, actually, now that I think about it.
My new thing is these jersey lightweight zip-up hoodies. And they're the hoodies that are thin enough that you could wear a suit coat over it if you really wanted, which I think that is such a cool look. Like if I lived in a big city, that's all I would wear.
Thin hoodies?
Thin hoodies with a suit coat over it.
I would wear just thick hoodies. I mean, I do now.
Can we also talk about your dad's coat?
Which one? Oh,
his coat of many colors.
The Technicolor, the Asgardian bridge.
Yeah, your dad bought a coat that is made of a patch. It's patches of colored fabric sewn together, and
it's it looks like he fucking killed a minstrel and took their
right.
their magical jacket.
I'm surprised he doesn't pull a fife out of it, and play a little ditty. It is the most obnoxious, and it's thick. And it's the most obnoxious coat I've ever seen. And it's so bulky on him that when he starts walking towards you, I'm like, you are reminiscent of the troll that the three billy goats keep tricking over and over and over again. Stop wearing that coat. And then he ran into a woman who had the exact same coat he did. So then you find out this was mass produced at one point.
Oh, Did
you ever see this? Oh, God, yeah.
No.
Met a woman at a coffee shop, and I should say this, met an elderly woman at a coffee shop who had the same coat, and he took a picture with her, and I just thought to myself, oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Dad's the kind of guy that would walk into a 7-Eleven and look at the t-shirt with the wolf and the eagle and be like, fuck yes, and get that thing. And then cut the sleeves off of it and then wear it paired with probably Spider-Man pajama bottoms.
One of my proudest moments.
He would go to the opera dressed like that.
But here's the thing. And he'd also not give two F's about it, right?
Oh, yeah, no, definitely not.
There's something about that I think is strong.
Well, it's either that or he just wouldn't be quite aware.
I
think that's what it is. Is the awareness of that is just not necessarily going to clock. Yeah,
it's like like kids today, right? So they had such a weird, like, if you're a senior in high school, you had such a weird school experience because, you know, you had your COVID year, like during your middle school era when you needed that the most to like learn social cues. But like, okay, for example, today I was amongst a whole bunch of kids, and at one point I'm carrying a bag of garbage, and a kid looks at me dead in the eyes, standing right in front of me, goes, "What's that?" And I said, "Oh, it's garbage." "Is it yours?" And I looked at him, and my immediate response was like, give the kid the information he's looking for. And I'm like, "No, it's from the dressing room." "Your garbage was in the dressing room?" And I was like, God. Did no one teach these kids? And here's the thing. I think that no one is creating educational videos, the stuff that you and I watched that really changed how we approached like reading. No one's making that kind of stuff anymore. That's cool. For example, did you ever watch Story Lords?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Story Lords, for those of you who don't know, was like a Canadian PBS series, and it was about this kid who was in maybe like 4th or 5th grade, and he'd be learning something in school, like context clues, right? Like, oh, well, you can tell this. And they show a sentence like, the cat ran really fast. And they're like, okay, so what are the context clues for the story? Well, there's a cat, and he was running fast, so he probably was running from something or to something. And then somehow this kid, like a mystical, like ancient, like Chinese, like thing, the story lord from another realm would be like, "You have to help us, Daniel." And so then he'd go, and there'd be this evil guy who was a guy who wore like football pads, and then they put a cloak over the football pads to make him menacing, and gave him sunglasses, and he would ride around on a motorcycle with the flunky who was in a like a sidecar, and they'd arrive and they're like, "Ha ha ha, we're going to take over Storyland." And then he'd somehow use context clues to be like, "This is it," and break it. Okay, there's multiple parts to Story Lords, which I believe you can watch on YouTube, thank God, because the music that they use for the villain, like his walk-on music, is a banger. It is so effing good.
I'm on the Wikipedia page right now. Looks like there are 12 episodes in total.
Okay.
So you can like plan a weekend and be like, I'm just crushing Story Lords all week.
Well, and the episodes are what, like maybe 10 minutes long?
Yeah.
They
would play them in class during a specific subject. It looks like it was actually it was made in Wisconsin, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was produced at the University of Wisconsin Stout for the Wisconsin Educational Communications Board, 1984.
It was a glorious time.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, Wisconsin is the Canada of the United States.
I think back to all the other like educational video characters that we would watch back in elementary school. I remember there was like
you watch Take a Look.
Take a Look. Yeah.
Take a look. Take a look. Find what you can see. Take a look. Take a Look with Aunt Kate and me. And it was about a kid who went to Aunt Kate's farm, and Aunt Kate always had something science-y that you would take a look at.
There was a painter lady. Was her name Marnie?
I don't know if I remember this one.
This was in like 3rd grade. I remember this. There was a painter lady. I could go back down the rabbit hole forever, but yeah.
Do you remember the twist at the end of Story Lords? Because it blew my goddamn mind when we watched.
I don't remember it.
Can I ruin it for you?
Yeah, go for it.
So in every does it say what the main character's name is? What that little kid? He was as milquetoast as they come.
Norbert.
So Norbert's teacher would always be teaching him something, right? And then the ancient mystical one. On the last episode, you find out that the ancient mystical one is actually Norbert, who's a man, and then Norbert's teacher's female. And like Norbert's teacher like pulls her face off, and it's the ancient one who's been teaching him. And I remember like in class going, "No way!" And I was so invested in what was going on.
These character names are pretty great. So you had Norbert Niesenden, who I guess is the lead. and then Mandy and Jason, who I think are just his pals, right?
Yep.
Are they siblings or?
I think they're friends of his because they would help.
Yeah, because doesn't he put on like gloves or something?
Yeah.
Or, Mrs. Framish is the name of the teacher. Lexor.
That's the bad guy, right?
Well, that might be the mystical person because there's Thorzuul.
Oh, that's the bad guy for sure.
And then there's also Milk Breath.
Milk Breath is the name of his flunky.
Okay, that's right. Milk Breath. That's such a great name, Milk Breath.
And it's definitely
that could mean a lot of different things.
It really could.
That really could.
And there's like a brilliant piece of this too, where I imagine that
Mandy is Norbert's sister.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
There's a world where the University of Wisconsin Stout gets a grant and they're like, we're going to do this. And then no one really gets it done. And then all of a sudden the grant, like the money's been spent and they're like, oh shit, we got to get this done. We got to get this done now. And the rush to get it done becomes what we get. And the thing is, like, Storylords, like, I remember it really did help me. Like, it was really well done.
I mean, I don't remember that part of it, but because I mean, is it for like reading comprehension? Is that what it's focused on? Mm-hmm. Like that, I was already like that was like the only thing that I was naturally good at as a kid. Every other
reading?
thing, reading. Everything else I struggled at, but reading and spelling, like for whatever reason, was super easy. But the thing that I remember about Storylords was that I could tell, well, this was just shot on someone's video camera. Like this is low. I could tell even as a kid, like, oh, you could make this with your friends. I remember thinking that way back then. And thinking that's so cool that you could have like a transition effect out, and they made a bicycle, the Biketron, and all that
like, oh God, we just had a world where it worked.
We've talked about it on the podcast before. I need a reminder of what was the show. We watched it probably in kindergarten. The princess who was held captive by the witch and she was forced to make books.
Yeah, I don't remember what that was called. Hold on.
She would like have ingredients that she would have to put in a machine, and the machine would then spit out a book. And it's not really clear why the witch needed the princess to do this for her,
but it was there.
Hey,
I'm gonna play this for you, and I hope we don't. There's no way we're gonna get hit by Spotify for this. This is that banger I was talking about. This is when Thorzuul and Milk Breath pull up. Okay, so I hope you can hear this. God, isn't that great?
That is fantastic.
It's so good. Okay, so that, and then I'm going to play something else for you too. That I never watched this series, but Jill must have at one point because she made me like watch this, and I'm like, I don't know what this is at all. And so it's called The Puzzle Place. Did you ever watch The Puzzle Place? Okay, so here's what you have to know about The Puzzle Place. The Puzzle Place, they're all puppets, okay? But they're humanoid puppets.
Okay.
And they hang out and they just like have adventures and stuff like this. But there's one puppet who's a white guy, and his name is Ben. And he looks like the most boring white guy you've ever met in your entire life. And so here's how they're going to introduce themselves to you from this. And listener, I highly recommend you go to YouTube and watch the intro to this because it's really, like, it really does what it does. Also, this makes me so sad that the Corporation for Public Broadcasting is shut down.
The Puzzle Place is made possible by a major grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Major corporate underwriting is provided by SCE Corp.
Creative energies give us the power to achieve just about anything. At SCE Corp and our subsidiaries, Southern California Edison, Mission Energy, and Mission First Financial, we believe that working together, we can make a world of difference.
Here it comes.
I know something that I want to share. I
I kind of look like Ben. Here it comes. So I didn't go to a lot of concerts, like small concerts when I was younger, right? I wasn't someone who went to, those small venues like the Aquarium in Fargo would be an example. And there was a girl that I was crushing on, and she was like, hey, you should come to this show. And it was kind of like a punk rock show. And I was like, okay, sounds fine. So I go there, and they did a punk rock cover of the Puzzle Place theme, and it blew my mind. And I thought to myself, that's awesome. And there's great punk rock covers of other, like there's a Fraggle Rock punk cover that's really good. Also, did you ever know my friend Francisco?
I wonder if I don't know. I think I met him once. Didn't I meet him once?
Maybe. I mean, Francisco's got a wild life. You should ask our friend Alex about Francisco.
You've talked about him a lot. I don't know if I've ever met him before.
Francisco, at one point, he and I were listening to the Fraggle Rock theme, and he was like, if they had made this in the USSR, like the Fraggle Rock theme, he goes, like, okay, hold on one sec. I have to put it in my mind. Like, oh, hold on. This is good. It's worth it. It's totally worth it because it's a good joke about communism, which we don't get enough of, right? Agree with me.
I agree.
Yeah, we don't get enough of those. Okay, so the regular Fraggle Rock lyrics are dance your cares away, worries for another day, let the music play down in Fraggle Rock. And so what Francisco said is, you know what it should be? It should be like, work your cares away, food is for another day, work your cares away, down at Communist Block. And I really enjoyed that. I thought that was really funny when he said that, and I still think it's funny. By the way, my play is done. They finished the run of
great work on it.
Thank you very much. It feels good to be done, I gotta admit. And like, I've got a very hectic May coming up with stuff I've obliged myself to at Fargo South. In fact, next weekend we're going to have to record it at a non-traditional time because I am taking a busload of kids to the Twin Cities for a drama trip.
Oh, wow. Where are you going?
We are going to go to the Guthrie and see a show called Sleuth, which is really good. It's like a whodunit murder mystery, but the set is incredible. And then we're going to go to Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which is one of the most technical Marvel shows that I've ever seen in my life. They do this effect with like a time thing where it looks like a sound wave is coming at you and like going back, that I have no idea how they're able to do that on a stage. I've seen this show 3 times and I can't figure it out.
Huh.
It's so cool. So if you don't hear from me, it's because I decided to, live in Minneapolis and follow Harry Potter and the Cursed Child around the country like people did for the Grateful Dead. Only for this one, it costs you like $180 every time instead of like 20 cents and some weed. That's going to wrap it up for today's show. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help us continue to produce new episodes each week, visit jjmeetsworld.com, where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some swag at the merch shop, or follow our link to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all the sites the cool kids are using these days. JJ Meets World is produced every week by Tucker Lucas. You can find out more about Tucker's work by visiting moonbasemaria.com. If you want to get in touch with your host with the most, check out linebenders.com, where you can find direct contact info for JJ or booking information. The thing I did like about the dermatologist was the discussion about like nipple hair.